Okay, here's one for you. What about just let it go and move on? Yeah, I can understand that in terms of trying to end one's suffering. But sometimes I feel like we gotta say no. Letting things go and moving on is oftentimes the reason why things don't change. I don't want to let everything go and just move on. I want to take some time on it, figure out what the problem is here. How did this happen in the first place? And what can we do to prevent it from happening in the future, or at least reduce the impact it has? And those proactive behaviors cannot take place unless you spend time with it and figure out what's going on. Just letting it go and moving on oftentimes gives whatever the problem is the opportunity to resurface again in the near future. I don't want to leave it alone. I want to deal with it. I want to deal with it and have it be done and dealt with, or at least known and understood. I can't manage anything I don't know or understand. That goes for everything, from managing a business to a team to managing my emotions and the way I handle myself in the world. I have no power over any of that if I were to just let it go and move on. How far do you think I'm going to go? No wonder I haven't made it anywhere. I've been spending my whole life trying to just let things go, and it hasn't been working because they're all still there. The problems I haven't dealt with, the things that I need not let go. I have to take them by the horns, right? And they say grab life by the horns. Well, I think this is one of the ways you do that. Is by spending time with your issues and concerns and problems. Yes, you can end up spending way too much time on them. This is true. But I think that spending not enough time on them could be one of the things preventing me from fully achieving the success that I deserve and desire. People say you just got to believe in yourself. Well, for me, I'm spiritual, yes, but I'm also a scientist. And it is a lot easier to believe in things that I can interact with and understand. So what's the point of the video here? I'm not sure there is one, I guess. It was just to talk about learn to let it go and move on. Now, there is an appropriate context for that, of course, right? I feel like there's a time and a place for just about everything, right? if there is suffering and a person is having a hard time and they don't, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. And it's probably because that's something I struggle with and have trouble agreeing with. But it's the idea of letting things go and moving on. Yeah, there are some things that a person cannot change, right? Of course, that reminds me of the Serenity Prayer. I don't know if you all have heard it. It's something like, please grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can. Come on, Izzy. And the wisdom to know the difference. There are some things that we cannot change. And for the things that we cannot change, yes, it is best to just let it go, because it could be unhealthy for oneself to agonize, right? I've agonized, sure. And agonizing has caused suffering, which was self-imposed. It's, I didn't have to go through what I was going through in my mind. But, I've kind of been conditioned by my life circumstances and the type of person that I've chosen to be I've ended up being an overthinker, and I overanalyze, and I struggle with analysis paralysis. It's a phrase that was given to me by a mentor that I had recently. I should reach out to her. Yeah, the analysis paralysis is the reason why I have 300 gigabytes of content to share, and there's a fraction of that actually available to the public. I'm making progress, always making progress. Always making progress. Sometimes it's ugly and unappealing, and people don't want to be around it. But I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm not going to stop. That's actually what everyone wants from me. They don't realize it, maybe, because they don't like the way it looks. But yes, this is what everyone wants from me. Is for me to figure out my fucking shit, right? So that's what I'm fucking doing. I'm figuring out my fucking shit. And this is what it looks like. Everybody needs to figure out their fucking shit. Everybody does. We are all a minimum of 50% of each of our relationships. What do you know about your half? And what you bring to the table, and what your role is in the relationship that you have, and how the things that you say and the actions that you take affect the relationship that you have. These are questions I ask myself, right? This is how I take ownership of my actions. And I take responsibility for the things that I do that I regret, wish I hadn't done them. Yes, I have made mistakes. And from those mistakes, I have learned valuable lessons that have made me wise. But, true wisdom is the application of knowledge, not just the possession of it. And this is what people are saying. I'm applying the information I have about what I know about myself. Because that's what you do when you're figuring your shit out, right? Otherwise, what's the point? I like this bridge view. I told my mom I'm always angry today. It's going to take a while for her to understand and accept that I've always been angry. My whole life, she just never got to see it. But now I'm not hiding it anymore. And I gotta tell everybody. I'm using all of my feelings. I'm using them. I'm not hiding them. I'm not stuffing them. I have to use them in order to get to know them better, in order to manage them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be attending an emotional skills group. It's available Tuesdays and Thursdays. Since I'm unemployed currently, I plan on attending both days. Interesting to see how this is going to go. Because I have my own beliefs about my emotions. Maybe they can change my mind on some things. But for right now, the hard part that everybody's having to deal with is my mind is pretty made up. I started using my anger, and it has turned out to be an incredibly valuable resource. But again, it's destructive. Yes, I understand. But I got to spend time with it because I let the cat out the bag, and I can't put it back in. I got to manage it. We're here, right? Sorry, everybody. Brace yourself or stay away. That's all I can say. But I like this new Paris Miles, who is full and authentic and true to how he actually feels, instead of stuffing his feelings to make sure everyone else is comfortable. It has terrible consequences and has caused me nothing but pain. People want to ask me why don't I love myself? Well, maybe it's because I've been hurting myself my whole life. It's really hard to love someone who hurts you and hurts you and hurts you and keeps doing it for the sake of making other people feel comfortable. That's what I've been doing to myself. So yeah, it makes perfect sense that I'm having a hard time falling head over heels in love with myself like I'm on The Bachelor or something like that. Maybe I'll get there one day. I'm working on it. I'm removing the barriers between myself and self-love. The only way I can do that is by being honest with myself. And the truth is, I have anger. Just like these dogs want to hunt the squirrel. It's natural. It's natural. It is natural to have any emotion that any person feels. It's just about what you do with it and how you act on those emotions. That's what matters. That's why I'm honest about it. We could be going through all of this stuff without me telling anybody that I'm angry. I'd just be acting angry. And people be like, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm telling you. I'm feeling my emotions. I'm not going to stuff them. I'm choosing to learn how to manage my emotions by interacting with them when they show up. Yeah, it's not professional. Sure, it may have something to do with why I have a hard time getting a job right now. Probably. But I'm not depressed. I feel healthy. And it's not going to be like this forever. Or the people in my life are just going to change. I changed. I chose to change. And then some other things happened, and I changed in a way I didn't really want to. But, you know, I'm taking ownership of that too. No, I'm not going to hide and stuff my emotions anymore. I'm going to share my emotions. And I'm going to be with my emotions. And I'm going to challenge others to do the same with themselves. That's how I'm learning to manage them. I haven't had the desire for certain vices. It's the P word. A lot of people want to talk about pornography. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. How long has it been? I don't know. And the strange thing is that I'm not all that interested in it at the moment, because I'm realizing that was a drug. It was a way for me to escape how I was feeling, to escape the loneliness or the pain that I was in. And it gave me a dopamine hit. And then I'm like, oh, I feel better now. But I haven't needed that. I'm not on my antidepressants. And I haven't needed certain vices. I also haven't been drinking. I can't tell you the last time I had any alcohol. And I'm not interested. Well, okay, so maybe it was about a couple of weeks ago, one of the first times I ever hung out with the guy at the food truck. And of course, I'm trying to bond with the guy because I want to work with him. So I had a beer with him. But the next 2 or 3 times he drank, I turned him down. I wasn't interested. I had that ice-breaking beverage with him, and I didn't feel the need to drink anymore. Wow. I'm really glad I just recorded this video. Because that was a bit of a discovery, epiphany that took place here that you all got to witness. Yeah. Now, granted, there are other things that I'm doing. It's not just feeling my emotions and being angry, right? Like I'm communicating with people. I'm in therapy. I have a therapist. I have been taking medications. I took a year in psychology at my local community college. I have other books on being an empath and how to use nature to learn more about yourself. And it's not just some random hoodoo mumbo jumbo, right? Like it took years of work to get me here. This isn't some random new thing that just popped up all of a sudden. Well, maybe the anger thing is because that was actually a suggestion given to me by someone who saw that I was struggling and in pain and suffering because I wasn't getting upset about things that I really should have been upset about. And I'm so glad they did. I feel healthier. I'm more complete. I feel more authentic. I'm being more honest with people when I talk to them. And I care a lot less about what other people think. That's what all of that stuff in my anger and shit is about anyway. And being depressed and being a kind, sweet, compassionate person or whatever. I mean, I can be kind, but I don't feel like I have to be sweet and nice. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's why I have terrible luck with women, and I've had terrible success in with finances. I'm not stupid. I do math great. And I also know how to treat people. I know how to make people feel good. But nice guys finish last, and nice guys finish broke. I'm living proof.